10. Looks like Sean Nicholson. No, let it go.
Yellow.
Oh, Saunders back in the pack. Take sponsor. Donovan's in it. Sean English is in it. Oh my God, are you?
Caution! No way. Or he's gonna dive bomb him. Here he goes. He's gonna try a bump. All the way to his bumper. Can he shove him? Can't do it. Dylan Ord is gonna win it here in Iowa.
Try to knock him out of the way. It's 61.
Bump and run! Oh, he's done this before!
Bump and run. The 61 to the inside. Can he make it work? He's got it.
The inside of the 0-2. He's tried it! Oh, Burrows is around. Oh, the wrecking right in front of him. That's Mogren.
Jones is a great run on the high side.
Drive off the corner and
They're gonna be side by side. This is gonna be a photo finish. 3 wide off the wire. And that's the stripe. It's gonna be Ruggles! Oh my God, what a finish!
Pace car's in. We're up and away. Green flag.
61. Dominic Howell.
Oh, he gets hooked! Oh my God! Hard into the wall! Huge track on the start finish line. Who comes out on top?
Dallas Myhan wins.
Dallas Myhan wins it! What? Make quick work of that number 9 of Eric Andrews. Andrews washes up the racetrack. Oh, let's go! Oh no! Oh! They're gonna be wrecking! That's the big one! Oh my God! Connor's involved! They're still wrecking!
One, 0. Charlotte 200 for the NFRL Berserker Series round number, I think 11. No, this is definitely not 11 round. Oh gosh, man, I just forgot what round it was. But we welcome you here live here for tonight's race to kick off round number 18 for the round number 12. My name is Ziki Reyes.
I'm Benjamin White. Also, this is round number 19 on the season out of 23, so just wanted to get that out of the way. But we got qualifying on right now, about 6 minutes left in that. Just saw Vince Marsh on the racetrack, and this is going to be a very long race, 135 laps, and this is going to be a true test of who can survive the best.
Definitely, and we do have a handful amount of chasers that did not show up here for tonight. Everybody resets at 1,000. Wins don't give you an advantage, but yeah, with the points being reset at 1,000, that means people who have been dominant the whole entire season, their season could totally be turned around in just a snap. So they have to perform here on every round reset, and we go through a round of 12, round of 10, round of 8, I think. No, round of 12, round of 8, then round of 4. That's how the chase will get set up. But all 13, no, is that 13 drivers? Yeah, I guess 13 drivers, but if I miscounted, oops. But either 12 or 13, I'm not sure. I need to go ahead and recheck it again.
13.
13?
Yep.
So I think it's 3 per elimination then, so it goes 13, 7, then
No,
13
it's
minus
it's gonna be 13, 8, and then 4.
13, 8, and 4.
Mhm.
So we're splitting a lot of the field the first round then.
Yep, 5 eliminated in the first round, and then 4, and then you cut it off to the final 4
Yeah.
to battle for the championship in Homestead.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's probably the most I've ever seen from a series, but that just makes NFRL different from the others, and should be exciting for how these drivers should roll around the racetrack. I mean, coming to the next round, which is I think gonna happen at no, it's actually Dover.
Yep.
So 150 laps for Dover is for all the people who didn't show up here for tonight. It's gonna be hectic for them, because having yourself present here could make or break your chase, because it's a full classic 43 point system, and with no bonus points being given out, every position matters. Alright, currently just about let's say around 4 minutes of not practice but qualifying remaining as of right now. So Dog, we'll go ahead and pull up our standings here and such. Actually, before we do that, I want to see who's fastest. Who was fastest on the charts in the practice time. So this was your standings during practice. Joseph Kizik was actually on top momentarily in that number 53 car, so that's pretty exciting.
Yep. I don't think he's won this season, so this, if he can pull out a win tonight, it would be really huge for his chase efforts.
Definitely. Again, a huge points reset, no bonus points being given out for extra wins and such. So that means Zach Nichols is regular season championship. Fortunately, it doesn't give him a bye. I guess you could call it bye, but a benefit coming to the this round. So interested to see on how everybody should sort out here for this one, as Crichton, he actually holds the pole right now. Just 2 minutes of qualifying remain. We'll go over the weather and how situations look out on the racetrack, non-driver wise. Partly cloudy skies, 84 degrees in temperature, humidity at 0%, wind going 15 miles per hour south. Fairly strong gust right now, but track temp 85. That should lower down, as well as the ambient temperature as we progress to into the nighttime.
Yeah, this race should be a really fun one. Very long, and I can't wait to get this started.
Definitely. If you haven't been to Charlotte Motor Speedway, here are the track facts displayed on the right-hand side of the screen. Track length, 1.5 miles, and length corners, 24 degrees, front stretch and back stretch, all 5 degrees. 4 corners, 1 each turn. 2,300 feet on the front straightaway, 1800 on the back. As the top 10 is actually shuffling in and around. We're not gonna spoil it to everybody in the chat yet, but based on well, I don't think you've watched a lot of races, Benjamin, but based on how things stand and how the outlook of tonight's how everybody stands in with statistics and such, with top 10s and top 5s, who do you think has a mild shot to go ahead and pull themselves into the next round?
Well, I like the speed that, of course, Zach Nichols and John Furness have had all year, but I'm gonna keep my eye on Joseph Kizik today because he's showing some real speed in qualifying and practice, and I think he can carry that into the race and possibly scores win.
Yeah, definitely. Should be a lot of fun to see on how that'll turn out as finally qualifying shuts itself out. We transfer on to the next session as our starting grid is going to be displayed in front of your screen. Congratulations to the number 82 of John Furness for putting that number 82 to the top of the board. Zach Nichols and that number 44 going to be in second place.
Round number 2, you got Joseph Kizik on the inside, and on the outside starting fourth, that is Ryan Libby.
Row number 5 going to be the Carolina native Tyler Logan. Kyle Smalley going to be right alongside of him.
And in the fourth row, Connor Crichton in the 15, and Evan Rice in the number 8 car will start in 8th place.
Row number 5 going to be Carl Hanwork and Vince Marsh. The rest of the order is going to be shown on your screen. Find your favorite driver, and hopefully he wins it here for tonight. Total of 23 drivers going to log themselves a lap here at the 1.5 mile quad oval. Got some notable people who are making their first start. One of them the 918 of Lawrence D. Bridges. So there he is, as he popped up in front of your screen, all the way in the back of the field, starting at 23rd as of right now. So we'll go ahead and focus in on our top spot, or at least attempt to. They're not on the racetrack right now, but you see Kizik in that number 53, one of the drivers we're definitely going to watch out for, a chase driver. We're hoping he does well here for tonight, and that's Dog's pick. Benjamin's pick. Should be a lot of should be interesting to see how that 53 progresses as we head through the chase. Some more drivers grading themselves up as we get ourselves set.
That's everyone, and we'll get this field rolling now.
Yeah, the number 82 of John Furness will lead the field off, and we'll go over the race analysis on the right-hand side of the screen. 135 laps going to be logged in for tonight. 2.5 miles in length. Pit window should be around 70 to 75 laps. Pit road speed around 45 miles per hour, so a fairly slow pit road for this 1.5 mile oval. Down the back straightaway, some drivers on the apron. That's the 5 of Tyler Logan. Iconic purple scheme, sponsored by Carolina. The top 2 have dominated this whole entire season. They're going to kick off the chase starting on the front row. Both of them are teammates, so I'm expecting this race to be dominated by the 2 of them. The 82 of John Furness and the 44 of Zach Nichols. Glad you're joining us here tonight on this Tuesday night. Charlotte 200 about to get set to go green. Pace car slides itself onto pit road. We are racing here at Charlotte.
Green.
Chase is underway now as they head down the front straightaway. John Furness will lead them into turn number 1. He's got Zach Nichols up on the outside there as they go into turn number 1 here. Looks like Kizik's going to get clear for that 3rd spot now as Libby is going to follow him to the inside.
Cold tires playing effect as we have some battling toward the front of the field. Zach in that number 44 looking around that number 82. Zach in that 44.
Oh!
Just got put the bumper to his own teammate, but he wrecked out of the last race at Charlotte. I mean, not Charlotte, what am I saying? Talladega. He's looking to rebound here tonight. It was his first ever DNF series, but luckily he won the regular season championship by default before the race. So everybody's single file as they work through 1 and 2 as of right now.
Got a side-by-side battle back there. Looks like they're going to get that sorted out. That was the 9 of Derek Winter. Now another car back there for a around top 10 spot. I think it was Morgan Baird in the 10 that he was battling with, and they've sorted that out now. Meanwhile, John Furness is going to attempt to stretch his lead on us a little bit.
Oh, just tagged the apron, just a slight. Carl washes up the racetrack, opens up the door for the 44. One car gets sideways in the background. That's the number 5 machine, Tyler Logan. Gets himself out of harm's way and out of the groove now, but meanwhile up front, side-by-side racing, and here comes the 44 rolling that low side.
Yeah, Furness made a little mistake. He clipped the apron in 1 and 2, and that allowed Nichols to get to the inside because he did not make the same mistake, and they are side-by-side into turn number 1. Nichols this time will hit the apron, but he's able to keep his car in control a little bit better than John was, and they're going to still be side-by-side down the back straightaway.
Lay the quarter panel to his teammate as they work into 3 and 4. One car all the way to the apron. That's Pete Gilson in the 18. We still stay green as they work down off of turn number 4. And Zach will now complete the pass and work himself back up front.
Yep, Nichols to the lead as they go back to turn number 1. Furness is going to try to get back up on the outside, and he will do that very well as he is now side-by-side with Zach down the back straightaway. Zach will get loose and saves it. What a great save by Nichols, but he's going to lose the lead. As a result of that, here comes Kizik to battle.
That's probably the first time I've ever seen a B car get loose here at Charlotte, especially on a high bank track and a high speed one like this. I guess these sets a bit slippery under the asphalt as they work here on lap number 6 out of 135. A lot of racing left to go as now we're going to go side by side for 3rd place. Libby working himself on the bottom side of the number 53 of Joseph Kizik, who has now has a different paint scheme on his machine. Tagging the wall. Now, the 57 of Kyle Smalley works himself into the top 5 now.
Yes, sir. Kyle Smalley working his way up through the field. Same with Ryan Libby, who has started 4th, is now up to 3rd. He was your winner at New Hampshire, and he's looking to, even though he's not a chase driver, he's looking to carry the momentum into his future races here in the NFRL Berserker Series. How about Carl Hamworth moving up a couple spots as well? He will be up in 6th now, even though I see the ticker's not really updating, but he's up to 6th now, and he started just about outside the top 10, so it's good to see him moving on up. Same with Connor Crichton in the 15.
Ticker should be updated now.
There it is. Yes, it is. And so we head back into turn number 1. Furness still is in the lead as they're coming up on a little bit of lap traffic here. It looks like that is that Matt Kemp?
Yeah, Matt Kemp in the number 48. Missed out the chase. Unfortunately in that number 48, but been a while since we've seen him on the racetrack. He's currently 5 laps down. Joined the race late, but luckily he's here trying to get himself ahead of the leaders as much as he can. One of the faster drivers. He is losing out just a slight bit, unfortunately.
Yeah, I consider him one of the favorites to be coming into the chase, but then he's decided not to show up. But now he's back, and hopefully he can have a decent race, even though he's right now 5 laps down. It doesn't really look like he's climb a whole lot unless there's a bunch of crashes. But great to see Matt Kemp back in the series.
Definitely. As I said, a long absence, unfortunately, booted him out of the chase, but here he is running on the racetrack, currently 22nd, 5 laps down, excuse me. Meanwhile, up front, that battle for the lead is getting tighter and tighter, and here comes the 44. He wants to go ahead and look around his teammate at number 82. Keep mentioning their teammates, but they're not racing each other like some, because both of them race really hard around each other, but both of them extremely fast on the racetrack.
Yeah, and another thing, it's the chase. You can't really be playing nice with your teammates anymore. You got to go out and win the championship for yourself, even though this is just a round at 13. You still got to fight for every point possible, because if you don't, it might come back to bite you in the end.
Definitely. These were the two dominant drivers before the chase reset. About number 82 and 44. Zach, I think, picking up a total of 5 wins. Furnace in that number 82 has picked up, I think, 3 or 2.
John's gonna have 4. If you include the All-Star race.
Oh yeah, All-Star race. That's right. Still green as of right now. The field now fans out to a range of 10 seconds all the way back to the last place car, that number 54, Justin Walters. We'll scroll through the field fairly quickly, see where drivers are running on the racetrack. How about the 53? It's just Kizik, currently displayed in 5th place. So, 1 and 2. Trying to get around the 57 to Kyle Smalley. Started himself in 3rd, but fell back a couple spots.
Yeah, hopefully it gets a little bit better as the run goes on because, you know, I picked him, so I want my pick to do well.
We'll scroll back to, it's a 5-car train right behind your last week's winner, that number 4, Connor Crichton, in that number 15 machine. They go side by side right behind around where Morgan Baird is, but the number 15,
watch out.
Whoa, man, near contact there.
Speaking of Connor Crichton, it was great to see him get that win last week because, 1, that was his first win of the season, and 2, it ended up actually launching him into the chase, so
Yeah.
very, very, very timely as far as winning goes, and now he has an opportunity to advance.
Yeah, he beat out Mark Stryker by 1 point. If he
Wow.
finished 2nd, if his teammate wasn't there, that would have probably lost him the chase. And
Yeah.
you see the 77 right there being a pack of 3, 4 including himself. They go side by side. This is Kevin Foster and Alan Dobbs.
Oh, he did make the race. Foster did. Good
Yeah.
job showing up. That's awesome. So he'll be able to at least, you know, battle and try and keep his spot in the chase. Because originally he wasn't showing up on the entries, but was able to join just in time and be able to get in the race. Back up front, Furnace still holding his lead over Zach Nichols. They pull a little bit away from Ryan Libby. That's about a 2nd over him down. And Kyle Smalley's maintaining about 2 seconds behind, 1.8 now. I expect the gap to be just a little bit bigger just because these 2 guys set a ridiculous pace at times, but they are within grasp of Ryan Libby right now. Libby falling back a little bit each lap.
Yeah, Libby, he did pick up a win. Happened, I think, at New Hampshire, you mentioned. What a hectic race that was, as a lot of contenders wrecked themselves out. But in the meantime, up front, 44 has been trailing the 82 most of the race. Hasn't been too ambiguous to run that middle side of the racetrack, but you see a lot of rubber being laid down there, though.
Yep, and that'll play into effect later in the race, as it looks like Matt Kemp is actually pulling away from these guys just a little bit. And I mean, that's good because he won't go an extra lap down if this holds up, and not to mention that he can't afford to lose another lap. Because, I mean, if a bunch of cautions come out, he can get a free pass each time.
Yeah, definitely, but that's, you can only get so much before that before that 83 of Kevin Foster.
Yep.
Last on the lead lap gets lapped, but
Yeah, that's the dangerous part about that. As Nichols is still reeling John Furnace in here. He's not letting him get away. Meanwhile, Ryan Libby is falling back to about 1.5 seconds.
so through the trial. Novak, Furnace, the field around. Not really a field when the 46 is that much disconnected, but we're out here for the battle for fourth.
Position. Yep, Kizik to the inside, and it looks like Smalley's going to be able to hold him off right now, as Carl Hamwick's actually going to get into this battle now. He's been moving up the field very steadily, and now he's going to get in this battle for fourth. As you see, Kizik really struggles in the middle of the corner and on exit. He's not having a good time right now, but he's still holding the top five, so it's not a bad run for Joseph right now.
definitely. The chase drivers coming in here for tonight. Currently running in 5th place. So right behind you see the 4 of Handwork, who's yet to return to victory lane after his a great round 1. He obviously won that race at Texas, but the 4 of Handwork is a track similar like Texas. 1.5 quad oval. Maybe he could make something happen here. Move himself forward into the top 3, but you see the pass right there. He moves himself into the top 5 now. A couple more positions outside of where Libby is, as now he's under attack.
And Brian Libby is really falling back as this run goes on. He's now down to just about 2 seconds behind the leaders. And Smalley's, I feel like he's holding Kyle right now. If Kyle gets around him, he might be able to at least keep pace behind the leaders, if not catch up, because he doesn't really have a whole lot of traffic in front of him once he gets by this 46.
Bit of a crossover move as the 57 moved himself down low. Will attempt to pass into turn number 3, but the way this track is, it's a fairly tight track, and with the update of the new Charlotte, this track got skinnier with the safer barrier now entering the track. Now that just loses about, I guess, 2 feet of track, and honestly, that's a lot. I see the 44, Zach hit the wall. He didn't hit the wall, he slipped off the wall in the backstretch, but the way you out-track 4 is not the way you did back then when it was around, when the track was scanned back in 2016, so lots of things to take into consideration now that this track is pretty much tighter.
Yeah, 2 feet doesn't sound like a lot, but it kind of is when we're talking about racing on the track. So, I mean, it takes away room that people could use to, race around, try and make a pass, all that other stuff. So, this track is beautiful. I love how it turned out in iRacing. They updated it.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is the newest track on the iRacing service that is NASCAR. I know they're going to update Texas and all the older tracks like Kentucky. They're going to update that. Phoenix, yeah, ISM, or whatever it's called now. I keep calling it ISM.
ISM retracted their naming rights, so it's no longer called ISM anymore. It's just Phoenix Raceway again. Honestly, it rolls off the tongue better. I like Phoenix Raceway better than it being named after a brand. But now we got to deal with Gateway being called.
Yeah, Worldwide Technology Raceway.
That does not sound good at all. But Smalley's made it to 3rd now, as he made it past Ryan Libby, and as Libby falls back, it looks like Smalley's actually gaining just a little bit on 2nd place Nichols.
Of course, a lot of laps to be logged yet. Only 108 to go. The pit window should be around 70 to 75, I think, is most likely where the window is going to kick in, but it definitely might be a bit smaller, like around 60 or lap 50. I'm not sure, though, as the leader of that number 82, John Furness, works himself into 3 and 4. He's just hugging the low side of the racetrack as of right now. Nobody, as I said, not being as ambiguous to run up against that 2nd group, but you can make it happen as long as it depends on where the track is heated up and where it's not.
Yeah, I was going to say that the strategies for, like, when you make your pit stop is definitely going to depend on exactly what these guys are thinking as far as how many stops they're going to make. And it'll also depend on cautions, because obviously on a long run, if there's a caution that comes out, they're of course going to want to get new tires, because you can't be running around here on very worn tires without being phased.
Last time by, Nichols was a slight bit slower as you see Smalley sort of semi-crab walk down the back straightaway. That was a bit weird, but still in 3rd place. Nothing take note of is, man, the 48 of Matt Kemp just blinked into the 57 just momentarily. That was a bit scary.
That could have been a disaster for the 57, but they averted it, so we're all good now.
Tyler Logan in the number 5 machine, disconnection from him. He falls out of the race.
Oh, no.
Simply, what happened to him? Just disconnected out of nowhere.
Yep.
Not even signs of him hitting pit road or anything like that.
Yep, that is a playoff driver, so early issues for Tyler Logan. Hopefully, he can have a much better week next week in Dover.
Work down the back straightaway. You see how big of a gap that number 82 has built over that number 44, Zach Nichols. As Nichols is really struggling with the race car. He's about to get swept up by these two people, as that number 48, Matt Kemp's giving the 57 a slight bit of a headache since he's down, but might as well just let it by since he has like 6 lap pressure tires. But whatever. Smalley and Kemp. Again, Kemp 6 laps down, slowly catching the 44. Nichols has a trend of him usually falling out during the long portions of the stint. And number 44, Zach, unfortunate for him, things are a bit askew as he's falling back more. And 57 to Smalley is grab that position.
Yeah, I've noticed Zach has fallen off or has been falling off very quickly in the past, about 5 to 10 laps from John Furness, as it seems like he's going to struggle in this part of the run. As you can see, actually, Nichols will make a pit stop here.
Wow, that's way earlier than what
Whoa,
I
he'll
thought.
slide that
dead
car.
Sideways.
But Kizik's in too, so I think these are planned pit stops. As you see, Kizik gets in a little smoother than Zach did there. So we'll see when guys like John Furness, Kyle Smalley, Ryan Libby are going to come in and make the pit stops, because it looks like their window to make it to the end on another stop afterwards is open now.
That's pretty interesting. Why the 44 hit pit road early? I guess he was just falling off so much in that around lap number 35, or is this the pit window? I am not sure. Because usually during fixed races, you could definitely stretch the run over 50, but I guess Zach is just going with a bit of strategy, and I guess a 20 lap short pit by him. Pretty sure he's calculated it right. Most likely, we'll see if Zach could take it all the way around with this strategy.
Yeah, what he does not need now is a caution flag. If a caution flag comes out, it's going to doom his efforts for almost the whole race. Like, no more cautions come out afterwards, obviously, because free pass things. But Kizik actually goes 2 laps down. He's still in the pits.
Yeah, Kizik has a bit of a problem. I don't know what it is, but unfortunately...
Might have been speeding and got a hold.
Maybe.
Either way, that's very unfortunate for Joseph Kizik, because he was having a decent run early in the race.
Yeah. Field works themselves off of turn number 4. John Furness has now has a 2.8 second lead over the 57 to Kyle Smalley. Smalley's been fairly quiet most of the season. The only real pickup he's had was a Daytona win, which that race went green all the way, and with 38 laps out of 135 being locked under green, we might have another one go green all the way, but in the meantime, the 57 is Smalley. This long run's working out to his favor, even though, of course, you have the 44, Zach Nichols, who's attempting a short pit, as here comes another driver going to come on in. It's going to be Presley Gilson, number 19. "24 degrees of banking this track has. Take an onboard camera. Put you for a ride as the roller coaster into 1 and 2. Ride them up the banking.
I love that gyro cam. It's one of my favorite cameras on this racing service here.
Yeah, definitely.
Watch that camera just tilt as it goes on the banking. I love that.
It's a full 24 degrees right there, both ways. The interesting thing about Charlotte is both corners are actually not the same in radius. Turns 1 and 2 has a wider radius than 3 and 4, so you have to slow down more in 3 and 4 rather than 1 and 2. Makes for some interesting racing, especially with a tighter corner right here.
Just heard from Tyler Logan that his internet caused him to disconnect, so apparently it was an internet issue. That's very unfortunate for him, as that will, if he doesn't get a win next week, he's probably going to boot him out of the top 8 here, which is just very unfortunate.
I want to see the relative lap times of the number 44 of Zach Nichols and 82 John Furness. Obviously, Zach just pitted earlier, as here comes more drivers going to hit pit road this time by Ryan. Libby is in, and Derek Winter, he too has hit pit road.
So it looks like these guys are just, seems like going about in increments of 10 on when they make their pit stops. Nichols made his pit stop around like 35, I think. So these guys are waiting a couple laps after their competitors make their pit stop to make their own. I see Connor Crichton is in.
Yeah, Crichton obviously picked up his win at Talladega. He works himself from 13th place, or might have been running up there forward before he hit pit road, but slapping on 4 and getting the heck out of there. What I don't know is maybe some of these drivers might have used up their tires fairly hard. It might have worn them out before they could even reach the fuel window. I'm not sure if that was the case.
That is also a good point, but Furness, I mean, if he's able to be able to save tires while in the lead, just pulling away, that is very impressive from him, and it shows exactly why he's in the favorite seat for this championship.
Yeah. He has a good gap from the number 57 to Kyle Smalley. Smalley currently on an island of his own right now, as well as the number 4 Carl Handbrook. As Smalley's going to hit pit road now, as well as Furness. So all these leaders are hitting pit road this time.
Yep. That is also Carl Handwork making his pit stop. That is Evan Rice pulling in behind him. So these guys are right in their window now.
I guess the fuel window was smaller than I anticipated. Probably going off the old tire model strategy, in which you just run it out all the way until I don't know if it's like the new tire model, which is just letting all these drivers adapt for strategy and such, but John Furness is in and out, as well as Smalley and Carl Handwork, and right behind Evan Rice and the number 8 is going with this strategy as well. So I think 3 separate strategies right now. Obviously, the 44 of Zach, 11 full 12 laps on his tires, and he's pulled away a massive margin over that number 82. But of course, short pitting does come with a cost. You have to come in fairly earlier than all these other drivers to have to.
A couple guys trying to stretch their runs out a little more before they make their pit stop. Morgan Bayer, Jaden Kurtachi, that is also Alan Dobbs, and Mark Stryker is also still on the racetrack, but I think it looks like Mark Stryker's actually making his pit stop now. So looks like these guys won't be stretching it out for a whole lot longer, as you see Morgan Bayer, your current leader right now. So he's just going to get some laps led on the board here before he comes in and makes his scheduled pit stop.
Stryker in the 77 was the leader, has now slapped it onto pit road. Top 4 still out on the racetrack. Morgan Baird, Jaden Tachi, Alan Dobbs, and Justin Walters, position number 54, one of the relatively new drivers in the Berserker field. Glad to see him out on the racetrack. It's been a long run under green. Just about every single driver getting some sort of screen time. Lap cars are going to play to a slight effect on how the 80s is going to fly by all these people, as well as 44 of Zach Nichols. But you see that with Nichols short pitting, he gapped who was the leader by a whole straightaway, or maybe half the track even. So it's either Zach's strategy worked out for him, or something went severely wrong with the number 82 during that cycle of green flag pit stops.
Yeah, it looks like Nichols just undercut him there, and that might be a very good move for John to repay the favor, but Nichols, obviously with the upper hand now, is actually, look at Ryan Libby, also took over this what will be second spot from John.
Yeah, Libby.
Yeah, there he is.
Has
There they both
4-lap older tires than that number 82, so the car's not feeling to his favor. I don't know if he has to get his tires all warmed up and stuff, but there's a 4-lap difference between the number 45 and the number 82. You see the huge gap from the number 44 all the way back to this number 46.
What a ridiculous pit call right there. I mean, look at that gap. It's literally 12 seconds.
Yeah, that number 44.
That is impressive. Kemp's going to get in the way of this here. And it looks like actually Kemp will move high and give the leaders the way here. And very unfortunate, Matt Kemp got track laps down. Probably because he joined late, but definitely not getting any better for him right now.
Yeah, I guess short pitting just a slight earlier. Or actually, not just a slight. He pitted a solid 12 laps earlier.
So, I mean, what a great pit call by Zach right now.
Some other drivers who've yet to come in. So Morgan is looking to stretch the fuel from this point forward. And if he pits right now, well, if he pits with around, I guess, 60 to go, but yeah, around 60 to go. We'll make it all the way from just one stop. And maybe Zach, he knows the fuel window. He might have just short pitted a bit early, and he's going to go on a long run this time. But we'll have to see. I'm interested in how all these drivers will take the opportunity.
Yeah, some of these guys probably will want to caution in this race, but there are guys that are already thinking ahead with their strategies and want this to go green all the way to the end. Probably John Furness wants this to go green all the way to the end, as he's going to have the best position, because I don't feel like Nichols is going to be able to stretch the fuel from the end. We'll just have to see about that.
Right. Look right up off the corner. We're currently watching the games here. John Furness, and he's coming up on a couple of lap cars. The 61 of Kirk Marble had a long pit stop. A 113.5. Lots of right side damage on his machine. He's going to go run down, unfortunately, as 82 attempts to clear. On lap traffic against this number 82, John Furness, who's yet to be in second place. And Dobbs is coming down on the 82.
Yeah, I don't want them to make contact here, because, I mean, if they would have made contact and hooked each other, that would have been just a disaster. But that was averted as well, so Furness now just has to focus on catching Zach Nichols right now.
These lap cars playing a huge disadvantage. Well, you do do see the speed differential between what that number 44, or actually no, this is not what the 44 is. This is
That's
actually
a
the
10.
10.
Who is pitting now? So Nichols will cycle to the race lead back again. And now it's up to John Furness to catch him.
Yeah. A solid, where Zach pitted, where John pitted. So I want to see the speed differential between the two, and it's only 3 miles per hour off. That's not a lot, honestly.
Look at these guys battling.
Right behind there. My goodness, I don't know what place that is. That's 14th place. Kevin Foster, the 22 Alan Dobbs, as well as the 61 Marble
Dobbs.
as Dobbs hits the wall.
And Marble will get a run on him. Marble is a couple more laps down than those guys. Kirk right now 3 laps down, unfortunately. He might have got like a pit penalty or something, because normally you don't go 3 laps down on a pit stop unless you have to serve a penalty of some kind.
Yeah, the speed differential between Zach and John, not as far off as I thought, but I guess short pitting just a slight wouldn't hurt. But we'll have to see on how long Zach could stretch the run from this point forward all the way to the checkered flag. Solid 75 laps left in this race. Currently 11 in the lead lap, but of course various strategies currently being played out on the racetrack. It should be a lot of fun to see whose strategy plays out for the best of them.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see this race play out. Hopefully it goes green to the end, because of course it will be caution free, but also we'll be able to see how all of those strategies will work out for these drivers.
Some driver we haven't mentioned about is that number 9 of Derek Winter. He's currently running up and within the top 5, but right behind him is the number 8 of Evan Rice. Wants to work himself forward. Evan has slightly fresher tires than that number 9 machine, but both of them are warmed up. Pretty sure that 8 machine can stall unless he can find a ways around that number 9 and pick up a couple tenths on his laps. These two is the battle for this top 5.
Yeah, I like the speed that Derek Winter's been showing right now, because he started a little deeper than in the field that he probably would have liked, but yeah, as you see, he started 11th, he's up to 5th after that round of pit stops, so he's making great progress right now, and we'll see if the next pit stop he'll be able to replicate that and maybe gain a couple more spots with that smaller. But we'll just have to see how this run plays out.
Good chunk of cars around as they enter turn number 3. This is Joseph Tizzip. He's multiple lap. He's currently only 1 lap down. This is 14 of Vince Marsh, the 13, not the 13, the 15 of Connor Crichton. Preston Wilson, who's out of the mix of this one. Presley has actually had a fairly solid run. Now running up within the top 10. We've yet to see him run that top 10 area, but here he is. Started all the way back in 17th, now he's in 9th.
Yeah, I like the progress that he's made too. Unfortunately, the other Gilson is already out of the race, 62 laps down. I'm not sure exactly what happened to him, but early exit for Pete.
Themselves up off the corner as log in lap number 67 out of 135. The gap is closing, but it's not closing as significantly as I thought. So for Zach, that is great, as the 77 is being as aggressive as he can, trying to work around that number 44 of Zach Nichols. Striker missed out the chase by 1 point because Derek beat him at Talladega. Oops. 77. Unfortunately, not in the top 13 to duke it out, but he's currently running 12th, still having a solid run.
Just a few laps ago, the lead was just about 5 seconds. Now it's just down to 2.9 seconds. So Furnace is catching him real quick now as this run continues to go on, as we have not had a caution yet in this race.
Currently working on 69 out of 135. Working down the backstretch. Of course, Zach pitted way much earlier than the number 82, John, and you see the gap now, half a straightaway. You see how big the lap differential is between the two. Just only a 2 mile per hour differential. We'll see what John hits this time by. Now the speeds are starting to slow down, but that closing rate is starting to pick up as Zach's losing more grip as the run progresses.
Yeah, I still like the call for Nichols though, because he might be able to still come out here with the most laps led if he could just continue to run. But right now, if John Furnace is really catching him, and I think he's going to pass him the next about 10 laps here. So I mean, it could be even shorter. We'll just have to see as the run progresses. But also want to give a shout out. Jaden Gratacci's running 10th right now. He's having a decent run right now, and this race has. He's 24 seconds back.
Yeah, I just passed around the number 19 of Presley Gilson. Both of these drivers on separate strategies. The 09 of Jaden Gratacci pitted 13 laps after Presley Gilson, and is playing off for the 09 as of right now as they work through 1 and 2. Gratacci, part-time drivers here. As you see, loose off the corners, Presley Gilson trying to work himself around a lap car. I think that's the 84 of Jacob Locklear. Not a great run for him, but still out on the racetrack trying to have a lot of fun. But yeah, I was just talking about the 09. Gratacci, part-time driver. Fairly solid on the ovals. We've seen him run inside the top 15 multiple times. So great run for him, as you mentioned, currently running in 9th place.
And I feel bad for Joseph Kizik. He's right now just a lap down in 17th, and he was qualifying in the top 5 earlier. So his race is just not on the way he's wanted it to go. And these are chase implications, as he is in this chase for this championship. So you can't afford a mistake like that, whether it was speeding in the pits or whatever. I'm not exactly sure what the penalty was, but either way, that's not what he wanted to see there.
Yeah, lengthy pit stop. I don't know. He didn't have damage. He was running 3rd at the time, but unfortunately, it's just not playing to his favor. Is now Zach in the number 44 has a bit of company.
Morgan Barrett threw it in there on Mark Stryker there. Mark is up on the high side with a train of cars. Here comes Matt Kemp also to the inside. I mean, he's a very fast driver. He just got, of course, it seems like joined late, so just having issues early. But as you see, he just goes right by. Oh, watch out, Mark Stryker. Just about hit our leader there, but lead is still over a second. I'm a little surprised by that. I thought John already been within a second by now, but obviously, as this run goes on, he's going to be continuing to catch up and eventually pass. But this is what Nichols wants to see right now. Is he still wants to be the leader, lead as many laps as possible into this next cycle of pit stops, which I'm not sure exactly when we'll see those.
Me neither. All these drivers going with various strategies. The 77 of Stryker has been trying to find ways around that number 44 of Zach, who finally lets him go. And Zach dealing with all sorts of lap traffic, who has fresher tires than him, because of course Zach pitted earlier than the rest of the field. It's now come providing him. Unfortunately, as now the 22 is up on his bumper. That's Alan Dobbs trying to go back on the lead lap. So
yeah, that's worth a lot in case a caution comes out. And by the way, some of these guys have been racing around. I won't be surprised if we get one. As you see, Dobbs seems to be trying to put the back bumper to Nichols here. Looks like he's shoving up the racetrack and forward.
Puts the nose down in. Again, Dobbs currently 1 lap down, but trying to put himself back on the lead lap.
It just allows Furnace to just get up in there, and now Furnace is within striking distance here to make a pass for the lead.
Alright, this is the first time we've seen a battle for the lead this portion of the race, working themselves on lap number 79. Of course, the 82 with fresher tires will pull up the lap differential on when all these people pitted. 82's going to try the high side as Xander won.
Furnace trying to make that pass. He's got a lot fresher tires than Zach right now, and they're going to work to his advantage on definitely in the middle of the corner and on exit. But you see Nichols is able to just maintain the gap down the back straightaway, but this is where Furnace is going to get that advantage right in turns 3 and 4. Right in the middle of the turn, as you see, he closes up really quickly, and he'll get to his bumper on exit and follow him down the racetrack. Oh, don't turn him.
Just a matter of how you're going to pass him, because Charlotte is one of those tracks in which there's only one line that's really fast around, and if you do get double wide with somebody, it's going to be one heck of a show between the two, as whatever car that's out of it just pulls away. As you see, a bit of a force into the corner as John shoved it into entry of 3 and took the lead away, but man, you see all this lap traffic playing into effect.
Yep, Carl's just going to get out of the way now. He sees these leaders battling for the lead, and he wants no part of it. He just wants to just stay out of their way right now, and that is also Locklear in 84. Need to get out of the way soon. Oh, watch out.
Ooh.
Able to, oh my gosh. As you see, Furnace is actually trying to use Locklear as a pick here, but Nichols will smartly back out. As you see, Locklear is going to tag the wall. Nichols did the smart thing and backed out of that, so he wouldn't have made a
contact.
Pick. Oh, Carl puts Jacob Locklear in the wall, and Locklear will save it into the grass. Oh my goodness! Imagine if that happened right in front of those leaders. They would have just had to swerve and try to get out of the way there. But man, that was almost the first caution of the night, but fortunately was not.
Yeah, Locklear now 2 laps down, as you got a battle in front of these drivers as well. Not only the battle to stay on the lead lap, but a battle for position. Mark Stryker in the number 77, and Alan Dobbs in the number 22.
This battle could be really important for if they both get lapped for the free pass position. Obviously, because, I mean, if there's a caution that comes out just out of the blue, like somebody goes for a spin or something, that guy would get back on the lead lap. So you always have to battle for the position, just in case there's something like a caution comes out and you're in a free pass spot. So as you see, Nichols is finally in for his second pit stop of the night. Oh man, he got in there a little hot, but it looks like he got it slowed down in time.
That was 48 laps all the way on that run, by the way.
We'll see if anybody else goes with him. You see Locklear is in the pits, probably to repair damage from getting put in the wall by Carl Hanworth there just a couple laps ago. As you see, John Furnace is going to be probably stretching this run out a little more, but he doesn't want to stretch it out too much because he might be too far back behind Nichols.
Definitely.
Because as you could see on that last run, it took him just about 40 laps to get by Zach, and that was with a over 10-lap tire advantage. So Nichols playing his strategies very well, and it's up to Furnace to be able to defend that and take the lead back and win this race.
Some interesting things to take note of. That number 44, Zach Nichols, he only stretched it to his 48th lap with his stint. Obviously, at the end of the run, he got caught up by the number 82, John Furnace, but we currently have 50 laps to go. Not Furnace, but Nichols just pitted 2 laps ago. Did Nichols might have pitted a bit too early, because that fuel run of where his last stint was and how many to go there is now, he'd be off by 3 laps. Oh, contact!
Oh, watch out! Right in front of our leaders. That was Alan Dobbs and Mark Stryker making contact. Looks like they will back out of that, and now John Furness is going to try and navigate by them both as Stryker hits the wall, just trying to get out of the way. And Dobbs is going to try and run off into the sunset here. As you see, a car is pitting. That is Presley Gilson's number 19. Looks like that's a planned pit stop as he gets in there. So Stryker goes a lap down now, and that will leave 9 cars on the lead lap. Obviously, there are some cars that have made pit stops now, but for now, 9 cars on the lead lap.
Fairly surprised to see some interesting calls being made early rather than later in the race on, let's say, your second pit stop. But I was expecting drivers to take it more conservative instead of being aggressive with what their strategy is, hence pointing at that number 44, Zach Nichols. Because he went earlier on his first pit stop.
John hit the wall there.
Yeah, John just tagged the wall right above the corner, but because that number 44, Zach, went earlier on his pit stop on his first pit stop, he's going to have to stretch it from this point forward to get himself all the way to the end of the race. So he's going to have to do, how do I say it? He's going to have to stretch his fuel all the way with both of his stints, rather than having a shorter stint on his first run.
I don't remember what the exact pit window was as far as fuel goes.
Fuel goes, I think it's 45 to 50 by the looks of where these drivers are pitting, but you never know if they short pitted a bit earlier.
They could have also just been cutting runs, and like you normally run your tank out almost to the end of it, but some people just like split them up.
Right.
Just have to see what these guys did here.
Right.
Katachi is in for the pit stop.
Yeah, various strategies, of course. It's either you're splitting the run into equal parts with well, yeah. Of course, one strategy is splitting it into equal parts. You could put it into Zach's strategy of pitting earlier, then stretching it from that point forward. And after that, you could stretch it, like the number 82, John Furness is, from this point forward. You see the 44, you see the huge speed differential there as John's giving him, that number 44, a bit of a headache.
Yeah, I think John sees this as alarming, and he'll probably making his stop soon, because that is his pass to get back on the lead lap. And as I say that, yes, Furness is in. It looks like Katachi is back in the pits. Oh no.
Katachi,
because he was making his pit stop just a couple laps ago, and he's back in.
Might have had a stop and go for unsafe exit. Of course, the blue cone rule, new to iRacing. I mean, not relatively new, but it's one of the new features iRacing has. You see that number 82 of John Furness, the second stop of the day. And this will be his final one.
Yeah, that will depend on if we see a caution here, which hopefully we don't. I want to see this thing play out to the end, but I mean, there's still a long way to go. We could end up having a caution somewhere, so yeah, we'll just have to see how it plays out. And for some people, they obviously will probably want to see this caution, but others will not want to see this caution. Just depends on exactly who you are and what position you're in right now.
Definitely. If a caution does come out, though, with multiple drivers already pitted, I'm pretty sure everybody on the lead lap will come on a pit road and put Connor Crichton, Morgan Baird, Presley Gilson, and Joseph Kizik their laps back. Now all eyes are on this number 44 and versus the number 82, John Furness, who's currently in 4th place, but of course a solid 11 lap difference between them. Not as big of a difference though this run, but it's still a major difference. We'll see how how it'll work out to that number 82's favor.
Yellow flag is
Yellow!
out.
Oh, that is the caution that some of these guys did not want to see, and a couple guys are going to be very lucky, like Alan Dobbs, who is making his pit stop now. That will save him his lap, as it looks like that is Kevin Foster that's gone around.
Wow.
This changes everything in this race.
Right.
As it looks like maybe Dobbs actually got lapped, so that could have either been the break that he needed, or that could have just doomed his chances. We'll just have to see exactly how it played out, because of course the scoring could be a little wonky here, but let's see what the replay shows for our first caution of the night. Looks like that is Presley Gilson underneath him. I don't know if Kevin... Oh, yeah, no, Kevin just lost it, and he'll collect Gilson just a little bit, and Foster will back it into the inside wall. That's very unfortunate. That's one of our chase drivers, so, I mean, he's had a very, very, very bad night on the racetrack, and this obviously won't help him any.
Foster...
Oh,
he got
man,
loose
he just got
before
loose.
He got loose before the 19 even hit him. It's very interesting. Getting on board of 19, and you see the 83 just... Well, I wouldn't say he turned across his nose on...
He just got loose there. As you see, cars are in for their pit stops. That is Derek Winter in. Also, Carl Handwerk. And a couple more cars are in. Looks like Nichols is one of those. And John Furness is not in. So, I mean, I don't think that's a terrible call from John, just because he had just hit a couple laps before. Yeah,
Right.
he had just hit a couple laps before. So, I mean, if this had happened like 20 laps after, that would have really hurt John if these guys had all pitted. But obviously, with the timing of the caution, it allows these cars chances to make the pit stop.
Right. The pace car picked up, looks like, one of the wave around cars.
Morgan Baird
Presley
there.
Gilson, Morgan Baird. Looks like it picked up Morgan Baird rather than the leader itself. I'm fairly surprised about that, but obviously the option to take the wave around, staying yourself out on the racetrack. I'm fairly surprised. It's gonna work into their favor, more since Baird recently pitted, and as well as Presley in that number 19. So they work themselves back on the lead lap. But rather than this this number 22 of Alan Dobbs, unfortunately, he's stuck behind the leader. He's gonna be trapped one lap down.
Oh, man. That's unfortunate there for Alan, as I had thought with the timing that he made his pit stop that he was going to be able to catch a break and get back on the lead lap, but just mistimed, so he doesn't end up getting his laps back. That's very unfortunate as well, and that'll probably doom his chances of getting a top 10, because there's a bunch of cars that are now going to be back on the lead lap because of that caution flag.
Yeah. Since we're under caution, as of right now, we'll go ahead and highlight our sponsors here for tonight. Glad to have on board Next Level Racing, Crockett Creek, and Butt Kicker. All three of them sponsoring the Berserker series. You can check them out on the chat. We'll go ahead and copy and paste all their websites on chat. So hopefully you guys could go ahead and give them some love and decide to try. I've yet to try out Crockett Creek, even though they're located up in Tennessee.
It's great to see sponsors just be able to support these sim racing leagues, just like this league. So, I think it's very good that companies are seeing this as a way to promote their brands.
Definitely. Yeah,
It's just a great look for sim racing in general, even if it's just a smaller league. Which I don't think this is a small league at all. I think it's one of the bigger ones out there. But obviously, it's great. It's just great to see companies want to promote their brands on these iRacing leagues. Love it.
Definitely. Yeah, as the more as the more days pass, the more iRacing grows as a whole. everybody looking at iRacing as a special opportunity to not only promote yourself, but you got to communicate with a lot of people. I know a lot of real-life drivers that are on the sim, and some people doing the vice versa. Most notably, of course, the now well-known Cup driver, that number 24, William Byron. He started himself on iRacing in NR 2003. Dale Earnhardt Jr. He started in NR 2003. I mean, he didn't start in NR 2003, but he's used NR 2003 before.
Denny Hamlin got his start in NR 2000.
Yeah,
He used that
Hamlin
track
as
to
well.
he used that track to practice Pocono, and that was very helpful. The data from that to get him his win at Pocono in his rookie year. So, of course, drivers able to use sim racing to their advantage in real life. As we are going to get the restart going here, John Furness will lead him to the green. Zach Nichols with a little bit fresher tires than John will be restarting on his outside. That is Kyle Smalley third, Derek Winter fourth, Ryan Libby fifth.
Green,
Here we
green,
go.
green.
Green flag is back out.
Away for the first restart of the night. The 44 of Zach going to slot in line right behind 7, but in front of him is good contact in the background as Derek moves
Derek
up the
Winter got
racetrack.
shoved at the racetrack. Yeah, he got a little bit net code off of Libby. You see, Libby's blinking, so that could have played into the role of why Derek Winter shoved the racetrack, because it wasn't contact, it was just net code. And you see Mark Stryker really struggling. Is he going to save it? Yes, he is. What a great save by Mark Stryker, but he's going to lose all kinds of positions. You see,
my
look at Morgan
goodness.
Baird just fly through the middle. He'll pick up maybe about 5 spots on the racetrack doing that. Wow, what a move by Morgan. But watch, Alan Dobbs just shoved up somebody up the racetrack right there. That got cut out of our shot, but they were able to keep it straight, thankfully. And you see John Furness out of the lead again.
Even though John has older tires than that number 44, and Zach has to wait for his tires to get up to temperature so he can work himself to the backside of that number 82. And being the leader plays a huge advantage. Of course, you get to control the restart. And such as you see right in the background, I think it's Derek Winter, who got a slight bit loose, and unfortunately going to lose his spots to the number 8 of Evan Rice. But staying out on the racetrack looks like to be the call for that number 82, and it's playing him the dividends right now.
Yeah, I just like that the tire strategy. John Furness had the advantage on that, and it just flip-flopped as soon as that caution came out. So that just shows how much a caution can change things in a race.
How about this? The number 57 to Kyle Smalley. He working himself into the top 3. He now attempts to put it to the lowest side. Zach, huge cut right in the 3 and chops off that 57's nose. Near contact between them as they battle out for second place.
Yep, 2 very strong chase drivers battling up into second place, but I'm pretty sure each of these guys really wants to be the car that will be on the freshest or the highest car on those fresh tires, as of course Furness is not on fresher tires than these guys, so that may play into John Furness possibly losing this, but I mean the gap is still only 4 laps between the tires of John Furness and the tires of Zach Nichols, so I mean it may actually work out for John, but he's obviously not pulling away like he did earlier in the race.
We'll see if this thing goes green all the way, which it probably might. That number 82, John Furness, is really, really strong at the beginning of the run. You see there, the big close-up. That number 44, Zach Nichols, we're going to semi-accordion with only one car. The 57 of Kyle Smalley. We'll be watching these two. Well, again, both of them teammates. The top 2 Smalley, too. I'm not sure. He is. He's usually the odd one out, but he's running top 3 with
Yep, all these top 3 in a group here, so none of them letting each other get away, as Furness now pulls a little bit off of 4 there, as Smalley will work to the outside of Zach for second. And look at this crossover into turn number 1. He will not be able to get the nose under him, so he won't be able to have that opportunity to pass for second right now. But Nichols got a really good run through 1 and 2 and is now trying to nip the heels of that 82 right now.
The drivers are being, as I said, a bit ambiguous with that second lane. You see Nichols try that second lane in 3 and 4. Now closes up the gap. I guess the second lane does carry a bit of momentum once the rubber gets laid down and such, but as it worked through 1 and 2, I think Furnace seems to be stronger in that set of corners rather than into 3 and 4.
Nichols watched the racetrack on exit 2. That's going to allow Smalley to get a little bit closer to that rear bumper there. They're still pulling away a little bit from Ryan Libby each lap, so Libby obviously looks like he's at a disadvantage here, but how about Vince Marshall in the top 5 now? They haven't really spoken his name all race, but having a really good run in the top 5. He's another one of our chase drivers.
There's our biggest movers of the day. Of course, the top 2 bunch, the 57 of Smalley, who's dead sideways off the corner. Gonna lose a bit of time to the, not the 77, the 44. Well, not as much as I thought. He's now back to the back side of that 44 as he clipped the apron that time by. This is what I was just talking about. Now they're gonna go side by side for second place. It's gonna allow Furnace to just pull.
Yep, and that's not really what Zach Nichols wanted to see there. As it looks like they almost make contact into turn number 1. Smalley with a nice pass up the inside is going to be able to take second. And now he is the lead car on those fresher tires. We'll see if he can catch John Furnace and battle for this win here.
Zach seems to be not the fastest car with those fresher tires. Zach, he runs a lower steering, I guess lower, higher, but he runs, a lower steering ratio than most drivers usually do. The lower your steering ratio is, the more tire usage you're going to go through. Hence why you see Zach pulling the car most of the time. But if you nail those corners down, you get a real good bite right up the corner with a lower steering ratio. But unfortunately, it's just using up his tires. And you see right there, the gap is now opening up.
Yep, and Smalley's actually gaining a little bit on John here, but we'll see how that tire gap will play into either John's advantage or to Kyle Smalley's advantage, but it looks like Smalley is running him down just a little bit. He's loud. John gets really good runs to it looks like the center of the corner, and that's what's really helping him stay out front here.
And Smalley, last time by, he was a bit slower than number 82. Now has Smalley used up his tires a bit too much, as Furnace been conserving enough. Himself ahead, and you see now the 44. Zach wants to go ahead and pounce back, but again, if they go side by side for this position, it's just going to allow the 82 to pull away. So if I were the number 44 Zach, I'd wait for that 57 to make a mistake and gun for it, but right now just follow him in line, don't waste your time battling, and hopefully you could get the opportunity to to have a chance at the win once the 82's tires do fall off, but that's if they do.
Yeah, John's just been very good at conserving this whole race, and might end up working to his advantage. Might be the factor that ends up winning him this race. You see Nichols goes back to the inside, but Smalley's not going to give that up easy, but he does not get very good run to the center of the corners. You see, wow, that was very close off of turn number 4, but Nichols will be able to take the second spot back from Kyle Smalley, and we'll see if Nichols can run down John Furnace now. They go into turn number 1 again.
Number 44 working himself through 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. John Furnace in the number 82. Of course, John has picked up 3-4 wins in the season. One of the dominant people. If he adds on another one, that'd be 5. Ties Zach for the most wins in the season. And right now, as you see into the corner, Kyle misjudged it. Just a slight tag the wall. That might lose him a bit of momentum.
Yeah, these guys have fallen off since they've been trading this second spot here. That is John Furnace out to almost a 5 of the second lead, which was down about 0.2 laps ago. Now that's up to 0.5 as Furnace starts to pull away.
Right, and again, as I said, the more these two battle it out, that 44 and 57. the more that number 82 of John Furness will just pull up and away. But for right now, as I said, once you get the chance to pass quickly, you got to take it. And Nichols made the pass on that 57 to Kyle Smalley fairly quickly. And he has his sights set on the leader now.
Yeah, he's gained about a 10th in these last couple laps, so this could really play to his advantage here as these tires continue to fall off after each and every lap. And John Furness down the back straightaway is going to try and work his hardest to hold off this number 44 on fresher tires than he is. But, I mean, look at John. Just the line he takes is just really good through the corner, especially in the middle. But Nichols also got a very good run through that corner. And now he's going to cut it to about 0.38 seconds. Turn number 1.
Usually on the longer runs, we'd see that 44 start to fall off, but of course, with the 82 on older tires and that number 44, it seems to be the opposite. Now the 82 of John Furness is losing time to the 44, but if you're the 44 of Zach, you still have 16 laps to go. Slowly push your way up there once it comes go time, and then make the pass, but I'd rather make the pass now than later because with the tires up the grip, we'll have to see who plays, I guess, who wants to push more than the other.
Yellow flag is
Yellow!
out.
Caution's out.
Yellow flag off of turn number 4, and looks
Evan
like
Rice.
Evan Rice.
That is another chase driver in trouble.
Wow.
See what him on this replay, but that's not what Nichols wanted to see because I feel like Nichols was really starting to catch John and was probably going to pass him. And it looks like Vince Marsh going to turn Evan around. Derek Winter also involved, but that's 2 playoff drivers getting into each other, and around goes Evan Rice. Turn 3.
Not a lot of damage, but of course a slight bit of damage could really upset your race. As we go back to pace car speed, and now our second caution of the day, going to come within 20 laps to go. All these leaders are going to hit pit road no matter what, but
Yeah,
if
well,
you're toward the rear of the field, I think is 2 viable, or is it just too long?
I mean,
too long into the run.
I don't feel like 2 tires is a terrible call if you get enough people to do it, because obviously that will probably hold those faster cars back in traffic, especially if they go too wide each time, like, you know, trying to swap the positions. But we'll just have to see what these guys make as their pit strategies. This is the money stop right here, so these guys have to get the best pit stops they can, make sure they don't overshoot their box or make any other mistakes of the like. But we'll just see how the pit stops go and see if anybody takes 2 or goes on any other off strategy. But based off these pit road times, it doesn't really look like there's a lot of different strategies. John Furness is going to get out first. That is Nichols in second, Smalley third, Libby fourth. And looks like Crichton fifth on the pit road exit. So the positions don't really change a whole lot during the pit stop. So we'll line them back up and get them restarted just very soon in this race.
Alan Dobbs in the number 22. He's going to take the waiver and has a chance to go ahead and scoot himself onto pit road. Dobbs, of course, I think he was involved in. No, he wasn't. He hasn't been involved in the wreck, I don't think, this race. But number 22, now he's on the lead lap. Go ahead and come down in, service his car, and get back right in contention.
Saw a couple of cars go in there. Looks like that is Kirk Marble, Kevin Foster, and a couple other guys are on the apron, probably just making their pit stops here to get the best tires that they can. As John Furness has been the dominant car this race, we'll see on this restart if he's able to hold the Hungry Hounds off. Zach Nichols, Kyle Smalley, Ryan Libby, Connor Crichton, and several other drivers that could potentially battle for a top 5 spot at the end of this.
Definitely. We'll see how many laps has each driver has led. Morgan Barrett has led 13. Zach Nichols has led 28. But the most dominant car of the day has been that number 82, John Furness, who's going to be starting up front. John, who's the fastest person when it came qualifying time. And number 82 is sitting in P1 as of right now. Well, question is, can he cap it off with a victory, or will the 44 be the upset? Of course, restart changing the game. Everybody yet again with fresh tires. So, John now with equal tires with the 44. We'll see how it'll play out to the 82's advantage, since he seems, he seems to be stronger on the long run side, long run side of things, but Nichols, a short run guy, he's gonna be all over the backside of the 82 on the restart.
Yeah, Nichols is one of those guys that's really aggressive, so if he has anything for John, he's going to have to make it on this restart.
Gonna restart it with 11 laps to go. 13 cars on the lead lap. Everybody from 14th to 18th is laps down. 19th through 23rd is all out of the race. Getting ourselves set up for the green flag, the 82 John Furness. Oh boy. Seems like a bit of a trend, but I mean, there's not a lot of cautions here for tonight. I wouldn't mind a late race restart with this one.
It's going to be the most action-packed restart of the night, I think, and I think this will be the restart that determines who wins this race, but obviously there could still be more cautions to come. It just depends on how clean these guys will race around each other.
Definitely. All eyes are on that number 82, because with John controlling the restart, he has a huge advantage to pull away from the number 44 of Zach Nichols. Work themselves into 3 and 4. Now just joining us here for tonight. About to go set to go green here at Charlotte as the field works themselves 2 by 2. As DW would say, pull them belts tight one more time. John will lead the field off to the green.
Green, green, green.
Here we go. It looks like Nichols is going to get a pretty decent restart here, and we'll see exactly what line he'll take into turn number 1. Right now, Furness with the advantage as they head into turn number 1. It looks like Nichols will concede that position, but we'll see if he's got anything as far as he can move for this win. Obviously, he wants to be aggressive and obviously take the win here, get his 6th win of the season, but he has to outrun John Furness in this final stint here.
Yeah, curious on how the 44 is going to push around that number 82. Of course, catching him is one thing, passing him is going to be another. We've yet to see an outside pass right now, but we'll see if the high line can kick in, make something happen. But right now, number 82, John Furness, scooting himself right up against the inside. That's probably the line you need to protect, because if that 44 finds himself low, I think he'll just shove himself to the corner and shove that 82 out of the way. As you see how lower that number 44 of Zach is, he could get a nice bite in 3 and 4 rather than John. John's missing the bottom of 3 and 4 of where Zach is, and it's losing him some time.
And he's still there, and he's just got to run a little better laps than John, but now they're on equal tires, and as we've seen all race, John is a little bit better on those. So we'll see what happens in this final stint. How about Morgan Baird moving back into the top 5 here? So he goes around Connor Brighton for that spot. Connor's getting a really good run today, and he barely squeezed in the chase, but this is the run he needs to possibly advance.
Look at that, number 82, protecting that low side. He doesn't want the 44 to sneak a nose to the inside, but look at the run he just gets on the entry of the corner. He also gets a nice bite off, and that's closing the gap. But as I said, catching him is one thing, passing him is another. Zach waiting for the opportunity to go ahead and pounce, and now's the time to do it. Furness taking a wider arc into the corner. That's going to upset him, and up the track goes the 82.
Yep, and this is the exact opportunity that I think Nichols wants here to possibly make this pass. And This will either be John Furness's 4th points-paying win of the season, or it'll be effectively his 6th win of the season. These guys have both been very dominant all season, and another one of the wins for either of these guys would really help their chase efforts.
Definitely. I'm not surprised these top two have shown their strengths at the end of the race. I wouldn't be surprised if these two would make it into the final four. As you see Zach pulling to the inside of that number 82. Getting sick and nose down there with 6 laps to go. It's a 2-horse race as they're dipping out. That number 57 to Kyle Smalley now.
Yeah, Smalley's fallen back just a little bit ever since that restart. Same with Ryan Liddy on the 46. But these guys are the cream of the crop here in this field. That is John Furness, who has been the dominant car all race, just trying to hold off Zach Nichols here in these final laps. As they go down the front straightaway once again, Nichols just trying his hardest to keep that gap very close and be on his bumper by the end of it, possibly make a move for this win. Look at how he gets the mechanical grip to the corner. John Furness does a little bit better job at that and will get a greater exit, but these guys really racing real hard. And yep, the caution's out. I'm not sure where that is. It looks like it's turn 2. That is Kirk Marble, who's gone around, and that will set up a green-white checkered finish and a duel to see who will win and better their chase efforts here. But unfortunate spin for Kirk Marble there.
That'll put the 53 of Joseph Kizik, who was 1 down most of the time. And Kirk Marble was 2. Looks like he had a bit of help from number 4. Oh no, just tagged the wall into the corner, but oh, there was contact in front of him. Looks like Hanwork spun it around and
well, not sure what happened there with Kirk, but it looked like he was making a evasive move to try and avoid these two, and then just, I guess, lost the car, tried to correct it, and corrected too hard. He went pretty hard into the outside wall.
That's unfortunate.
Good deal of damage there. Well, unfortunate for him.
Of course, that's not going to help him, but pit road is open with 10 laps logged on the tires. Is it worth it to pit? I don't think it is.
I don't think so. Oh, man. Oh, actually, these guys decide not to pit at the very last second. A couple guys are in, but I thought Nichols had just outsmarted John there, but he just followed John out, so a couple guys made pit stops. We'll see if that plays into their advantage as far as just gaining a couple positions by the end of this, but probably not the winning call for them, but could get them up a couple spots depending on how much these tires are worth.
Alright, so of course, green-white checkered rules on iRacing. 2-lap shootout. If there's a caution on the opening attempt, on the opening lap, we will have another attempt. Once the leader takes the white flag, the next flag will end the race, whether they're caution or the checkered. And attempts vary throughout each series. In NFRL, we run 2 green-white checkers. So if we wreck it on the first one, the next one will be the last one, and this is going to be our first.
I thought we had seen the final of the restarts, but obviously we haven't, and here we are in a caution again. I'm really excited to see this finish. I think John Furness is going to be able to hold him off, but Nichols is one of the most aggressive guys I've seen in this series, so if anybody's going to be able to make the move, it's going to be him.
Definitely, as we get ourselves set up to field works themselves to the start-finish line. If you're not just joining us for tonight, thank you for your dedication to watch over the Coca-Cola series, to watch NFRL, but about to go green here in just a moment. We'll take this time to go ahead and thank our sponsors here for tonight. Next Level Racing is the world's leading simulation brand, revolutionizing simulation with its industry-leading product range. Check out all their products on nextlevelracing.com. Also check out CrockettCreek.com or buy all their products on your nearest grocery store in Tennessee. Butt Kicker, the one and only tool used for simulating the vibrations of a sim. Touch it anywhere on the rig and you're set to go. Butt Kicker, feel what you've been missing. Use code NORSE20 to get 20% off on all products. That is NORSE 20. Well, late race restart. How do you think this will go out for John Furness?
I think he'll be able to win the race, but it's going to be very close, I feel like, because Nichols will be able to stay with him. But we'll just see how aggressive he is to get this win. Obviously, a pass through the next round will be very helpful for them. But, I mean, they could end up wrecking each other and Kyle Smalley goes up and wins, but of course anything can happen. But I feel like these guys will be racing each other clean. Obviously, we don't have a whole lot of wrecking each other for the win here in this league. Unlike Ice Car, where we see that on the freaking weekly. But, I mean, that just shows the quality of the drivers in this league. I feel like these are all really clean, decent drivers here. And
Yeah, definitely.
I like seeing them race every week. But yeah, we've taken the one to go, and this is going to be clutch time. This restart is going to be the time where you need to, if you have anything to get this win, you need to show it right now.
Right. As you said, the quality of drivers, their iRating shows it. 5,700 for John Furness, 6,300 for that number 44, Zach Nichols, 5,000 for Kyle Smalley, Ryan Libby also 5,000. Got multiple 2,000 drivers up here in the mix as well. Matt Kemp, Kirk Marble both have 4,000. So I'm interested in seeing how it's going to turn out for them once it comes to TV time.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many of them are entered into that, but I feel like they can, or some of them can really make something happen there. So best of luck to all those guys that are doing RTP this year. On a more related topic, we're about to go green for this group first, green-white checkered. Got John Furness in the lead, Zach Nichols, Kyle Smalley, Ryan Libby, and Connor Crichton in the top 5. Here we go. Green flag is out.
Green's
We
out. Green
are
flag. Green
back
flag.
racing with 2 laps to go to first green-white checkered out of 2.
Looks like the 44 got a nicer restart that time, but the 82 of Furness gets clear onto the bottom side of the racetrack, but that 44 got a nicer arc taking momentum down on the back straightaway. Top 4 single file, but Smalley's pulling some blocks on Libby.
Yeah, these guys are racing really aggressively back in the middle part of this this group here. You see almost 3 wide with Vince Marsh back there, but looks like it's going to single out to 2 wide. Meanwhile, back up front, taking the white flag. This
One
time,
lap to go.
it's a final lap here. See if Zach Nichols can get by for his 6th win of the season. It's going to be really hard, but he'll need to get a draft down the back straightaway and then sail it off into turn 3. But what a save! I cannot believe he just saved that. That's probably going to hand the win to John Furness here as they go into turn number 3 and Alpha turn number 4 for the final time tonight. That is John Furness out front, and he will collect his 4th points-paying win of the season. It'll come here at Charlotte. The dominating performance as Nichols will spin across the start-finish line. He'll end up 2nd still, but not enough to get that win. John Furness will win tonight here at Charlotte. Very, very, very good run for him. And Zach Nichols 2nd, Kyle Smalley 3rd, Ryan Libby 4th. Great job by all those guys, and we'll have interviews very shortly here.
Yeah, definitely. What a win for that number 82, John Furness, holding off the 44 as he got loose off of turn number 2. Couldn't complete the pass, and he got fairly close, right up off of 2, but unfortunately, he tried to push the car, and it was just a bit too much, and nearly around went that number 44, Zach Nichols. Unfortunately, he just comes up short here tonight. John Furness, your winner here for tonight. He's going to burn it down on the front straightaway. Congratulations to him. In the meantime, we'll go ahead and display your order here for tonight. And it's going to start having one heck of a run to the start-finish line. Oh my gosh. Wow. Oh boy. That was crazy. Did you just see the Coca-Cola finish?
Yep, Keegan Leahy wins.
Wow.
They went green the entire way. I cannot believe that.
Oh, wow. Man, it's crazy.
But on a more related note, John Furness going to cap off in a dominating night with the 4th points-paying win of the season for him. So congrats to John on that, and we'll get these guys into the waiting room for interviews. Not sure how many we'll be able to take, whether it's 3 or 5 or however many we do. All right, so top 3, 2 interviews, but man, what a race! Especially at the end, we saw a couple restarts and great action.
Yeah, definitely. All right, we'll go ahead and slide yourself to the side and drag in the top 3 after 137 laps for tonight. We'll go ahead and see you in just a moment. Three, two, 1, 0. We welcome you here back live for the Charlotte 200. Rounding ourselves out a great finish. Another late race restart to end ourselves off here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And we're going to go ahead and drag in our winner here for tonight. Your race series winner, that number 82. If I can go ahead and find the panel, there it is. We'll go ahead and drag him on into the booth. And John Furness, man, congratulations. You led 96 laps out of the scheduled 137 here for tonight. A dominating win over your teammate, that number 44. How'd you play that late race restart?
Just like the rest of them. Gas is on the right. You know, put it to the floor, hold it down. Hope she sticks. And, you know, once I got clear and going into one, I figured there wasn't going to be much else happening. Car's pretty tight. It's pretty hard to pass. But through the middle of the race, it was pretty fun with the whole fuel strategy thing. You know, some guys pitting early and some guys staying out and coming in late. So that was a lot of fun. I like that whole long run there at the beginning of the race. So that was cool. But all in all, it's a good night. It's a lot of fun. The car was pretty tight, but you know, it's a lot of fun getting a W always.
Yeah, definitely. You were just talking about the first run, obviously it being fairly long, 2 pit stops within it. Multiple drivers taking all sorts of strategies. You elected to stretch the fuel all the way. How did it play out to your advantage here tonight?
Yeah, well, Zach came in really early, so I was just trying to keep him a lap down as long as I could. Then once he unlapped himself, I just decided it was time. I had like a target in mind anyway. I wanted to make a 2-stopper. I was thinking it might just go green the whole way. I mean, like I said, the car is pretty tight. It was pretty easy to drive, so there wasn't too much chaos there. And then, you know, we made 2 stops, and I was hoping to take the lead back with about 10 to go, honestly. So it was kind of a little bit nerve-wracking, but that was a lot of fun. That was the fun part of the race for me. But Zach did a heck of a job too, and he kind of forced the hand of the whole field once he came in early because tires fell off so much. But yeah, all in all, good night. A lot of fun.
All right, man. 10-4. John Furness caps out Charlotte with another win here for tonight. We'll go ahead and see you coming next round at Dover. But before we let you go, any sponsors you want to thank here for tonight?
Definitely want to thank the guys over at Butt Kicker and Crockett Creek Beef Jerky, Next Level Late Racing, and Blaze Pizza. I got a butt kicker on the rig here tonight, and man, is it cool! It brings a whole new level of realism to this stuff. So if you guys haven't tried them, check one out. They're not that expensive. They're worth every penny. So yeah, can't wait to go to Dover. It's pretty much my favorite racetrack. So that should be fun. And thank you in the booth and all the admins for putting on the show. It's a lot of fun to do this deal.
All right, man. 10-4. John Furness caps himself out at Charlotte with a win. We'll go ahead and see you coming next week at your favorite track.
Yeah, thanks, guys. See you next week.
Yep. And that was the number 82 of John Furness. We'll go ahead and slide into number 44 of Zach Nichols. Benjamin, go ahead and take this one away.
Zach Nichols, you got a copy?
Yes.
So you were pitting like several laps earlier than John Furness, who was ahead of you. Did you think if that race went green that you were going to be able to get the win away from him, or did you feel like that caution was necessary for you to even have a chance?
Honestly, I actually thought that if we didn't get a caution, we probably would have been able to stay out in front of him, because once he got to us, I feel like he probably would have got to us, but our tires probably would have been so identical when he got to us that he probably couldn't have got around. But it would have been a close race, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, when we were talking about the strategy that we were pulling off, we realized that later into those runs, he was going to catch up to you, and then he stalled out behind you for several laps and before he would pass you. But yeah, I thought that strategy was very smart for if a caution didn't come out. Second's tough, but it's very good towards your chase efforts. You got any sponsors to thank for this?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my real-life sponsors, Paul's Cars Performance Head and Pro Fleet Transport. I'd like to thank you guys for broadcasting. I'd like to thank the league admins for putting the league on, and yeah, that's about it.
All right, man. 10-4. That was Zach Nichols, who's going to round himself out in second place after starting in second place. We'll go ahead and see you next week at Dover.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll go ahead and drag in that number 57 to Kyle Smalley, who's been a while since we've seen him up here into the top 3, but really solid run after 137 laps of racing. Smalley, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey man, a solid finish to round yourself here at Charlotte. A good top 3. How'd the car feel out to you tonight?
It was really loose the first 3 or 4 laps, then it tightened up. But Charlotte's one of my favorite tracks. I can't really compete with Zach and John at other tracks, so it was really fun to compete with them towards the end of the race. But
Yeah.
the car felt good tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I was about to mention that you were competing up there toward the lead as John was a slight bit on older tires. If you think that stint would have went green, do you think you would have had a chance there at the end?
No, they're just that much better than me.
All right, man. 10-4. Before we let you go, any sponsors you want to thank you for tonight?
Yeah, I just want to thank Matt and John for doing this league. It's a lot of fun. You, Ezekiel, for the broadcast. It's fun to watch the next day. And I want to give a shout out to my dad. And that's about it.
All right, man. 10-4. Kyle Smalley going to round himself out third after starting in 6th place. We'll go ahead and see you coming next week at Dover.
Yes, sir.
That was Kyle Smalley in the number 57, and that will be all our interviews here for tonight. Congratulations yet again to that number 82, John Furness, who rounds himself out on top. Before we end off the broadcast, Benjamin, what'd you think of tonight?
I thought the strategies in this race were really interesting and good to see if they would play out to the end, but unfortunately those cautions came out and we didn't get the opportunity to see that. But all in all, very good action-packed race for the whole race, but especially near the end point of the race. But yeah, this league's very fun to watch, very fun to be a part of broadcasting, and hopefully I get to do these more in the future because I really like doing this.
Yeah, definitely glad to have Benjamin up here in the booth with me, but we'll round it out here for tonight. Congratulations, as I said, to that number 82, John Furness, to round himself up top. This has been the Charlotte 200 NFRL Berserker Series. My name is Icarus.
I'm Benjamin White. Thank you guys for watching the broadcast, and tune in next week for the race at Dover. That is the cutoff race for this, where we'll cut the chase field down from 13 to 8.